Vaccinations are a controversial divide between the health and serious illness of a person. Vaccinations are small traces of dead strains of viruses usually given through a shot. So the needles tend to look like this, and then the vaccination would come in something like this. And the needle would just be inserted through that and then given to the person. In anatomy, my class learned that when injected, the dead strain will go into the body and build up immunity to the virus. So if the person were to get the virus, like a cold or the flu, they would have immunity and they could fight it off faster. And immunizations are like a similar thing to vaccinations, and immunizations more of are like a schedule. So like kids get immunizations at like a certain age, like they have to get like a booster shot. As like teenagers get older and enter high school, they have to get like HPV shots, and those are vaccinations as well. They're just more labeled as immunizations. Vaccinations got started during nation and worldwide outbreaks of diseases doctors thought they could easily treat. Among the first to get licensed were the typhoid and rabies vaccinations. The most popular topic with vaccinations comes with polio, an outbreak within the 40s and 50s. According to the immunizationusa.org, Dr. Jonas Salk from NYC developed a vaccination in 1955. It was given through big and painful syringes that were used and often left scars, and many people who got the polio vaccination when they were younger still have the scars because they were pretty big syringes. And in 1961, Dr. Albert Sabin developed an oral suspension which was popular among children, and like oral vaccinations would be given through a bigger syringe so they could draw more out and like it wouldn't scare the kids because there was no needle involved. Also in my anatomy class, we learned that my teacher had his polio vaccination when he was young, but it was given through a sugar cube. So the kids could just eat the sugar cube and it would dissolve in them, and like the kids would like it because it's not a shot, it's just a sugar cube, I guess. Through vaccinations, diseases have been completely eradicated, and that's why you don't hear of like measles and like polio anymore, because they've been eradicated and people have gotten the health measures to prevent that. Society is often controversial because people only often see the negative side effects of vaccinations, and people should vaccinate because they protect against the well-being and are preventative against several diseases. But there are 10% of children who are not being vaccinated, and that increases the chance of coming back, according to vaccinationinfo.org. The reason that people see these negative side effects is because some people are scared that vaccinations give their children autism, which is not true. The study that people claim that on is because when the study was given, parents gave their children to the study not knowing that they had diagnosed autism, and so they got the vaccinations and came out of the study, but they had autism already. Their parents just didn't know it, and then they got diagnosed after the vaccinations. My anatomy teacher told me that. So that there's not enough scientific evidence to back it up in today's era. Like that study was done in like the 50s or 60s, so there's not a lot of evidence to back it up, and in today's society that's not really true. And some people don't see the effect when several studies exist to show how vaccinations work, because like I said, there are diseases that are completely eradicated because of it. Another reason people don't believe in vaccinations is because they believe in herd immunity, which is a term in the past 5-10 years parents have came up with, which according to Immunization USA is where parents will willingly let their children play with kids who are sick with influenza or strep or some other disease, as they say that it'll build up their children's immunity because they're playing with those kids, when in all reality it'll just make their kids sick, even though they could have prevented it. Another reason they're often controversial is because parents don't want to hurt their kids with the needle, but like the needle's small and it's not gonna give your children enough trauma to like remember the shot. They'll probably remember the pain in the moment, but they won't remember it in the long run. In conclusion, vaccinations are a safe and simple way to prevent diseases, as history and science have worked together to make that possible for several generations, and why as societies we keep getting stronger and healthier. And although people tend to see the bad in vaccinations, there are several things good about them, so why not vaccinate?
Very nice.
Addie.